Welcome to turn off my phone,
69.
Episode 69 of the Cherry Pearls podcast. We are a knitting and spinning podcast coming to you from right outside New Orleans, Louisiana, and we are so happy that you're here with us today. We have some winners to announce. We're going to talk about our newest knit-along. We have a coupon code as usual. One of us has finished objects. And then we're going to show you what we got on our recent trip to Tennessee. So stick around if that's what you're interested in. So, would you like to announce the Casa Pink Along winners?
Well, first of all, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Mary.
I'm Robin.
And you can find me as Cherry Pearls Mary on Instagram, and I am Snippin' Full on Ravelry.
And I am Teeny Button on Instagram and Ravelry, and my Etsy shop is Teeny Button Studio, where I sell hand-dyed yarn. This is what we get for trying to go every other week, because I'm going forward. I am like... We're going.
Nothing wrong with going forward. Just, if you're new to the podcast, you might want to know who we are.
Oh, and if you're new to the podcast, thank you for watching. And welcome back to all of our returning viewers. So, now that that's out of the way, are you ready to announce the Casa Pink Along?
Absolutely. We recently completed our Casa Pink Along. It was a knit-along that featured the patterns by Casa Pinka, and we have two winners to announce. One came from the Finished Objects thread, and one came from the Chatter thread. Do you want to announce the winners?
Let's show the prize first.
Oh, absolutely. For the Finished Object thread.
For the Finished Objects thread, we have a prize package for our winner.
So there's a physical prize.
Yes. So they will get 2 skeins of Quince & Co. Piper. And this is a lace weight, and the colorway is Laredo. So 2 skeins of that. They're 50 grams each, so that's 100 total. And they are 50-50 Superfine Texas Merino and Super Kid Texas Mohair.
It's a beautiful wine color.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Super Kids made this yarn. So I donated a Progress Keeper that I purchased from the Gnome Knitter. It is a little pink heart that says knit on it. Little polymer clay Progress Keeper. And Lynn at Sunshine and Bubblegum was kind enough to donate a special Casa Pinka pink bag. So this is the bag that she has made. It is massive. I think it's the same size as the one I have my What the Fade in. So it fits 6 skeins, 6 cakes of yarn. Easy peasy. Could probably fit 7 or 8 if you're ambitious enough.
So here it is. In relation to the skein.
It's got that similar purple shade.
Yeah, but you can tell it's pretty big.
Yeah.
And Lynn has a label on the inside.
Yeah, so Sunshine and Bubblegum. Thank you, Lynn.
Thanks, Lynn.
And thank you to our donor who donated the Quince & Co. as well.
And thank you to Robin for donating the
Progress
Keeper.
I love the Gnome Knitter, so anytime I can support her, I'm there.
So we put the number of entries into a random number generator.
We use Siri.
Well, it's still a
random number generator is probably better. Siri was getting on my nerves.
Well, it's only because in the chatter thread it kept pulling up my name.
Yeah.
Because we talk to people in the chatter. We don't in the Finished Objects. But the winner of the Finished Object is
post number
7. And that is Mama's Little Monkeys. And it is Amy.
Hi, Amy.
So congratulations, Amy. We will get this out to you probably via your sister. And in the chatter thread, we drew in random number generators / Siri, gave us post number 20, which was Stephanie, the yarn nerd.
Yay.
So congratulations, Stephanie. We will message you and let you pick out any pattern that you would like, $7 or less.
Yay!
So thank you to everyone who participated in either the Finished Objects or in the chatter thread. Mm-hmm. We really appreciate that. And we're excited about our new make-along that we've started.
Another knit-along wrapped up and done.
Yeah.
So, would you like to chat about the C is for Caring knit-along as well?
Sure. The C is for Caring Make-Along is going on now. Started October 1st and will run through November 15th. We're calling it a Make-Along because you can produce something in any way you would like to, create something in any format you'd like. And it needs to be something that would be donated to a cancer patient.
Not a cat.
No. And so we've had a finished object, just one, I think. Mm-hmm. And we have people who are chatting in the chatter thread, so come on over and hopefully we'll get people to participate in both. And we will be giving away prizes. We don't have those yet, so we're not showing them, but we do have some that are
on the way,
in the works.
Yes.
And basically, like I said, you can do anything you want to. Did we say whips counted?
I can't remember.
I cannot remember if whips count.
It's in the rules thread.
If you go to the top of the chatter and the finished objects thread, the rules are there. I have just totally drawn a blank as to whether or not whips.
Usually we say yes, but for longer ones, I'm not so sure.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
So anyway, we do hope you'll participate. Go over to the finished object or chatter thread to see the rules, and we hope to see you over there.
You do have to be a member of the podcast group to win a prize.
That we definitely know.
And you can enter as many times as you want, as long as you have as many finished objects. Don't post the same finished object.
Yeah. In the finished objects thread, we ask you to have one post per finished object. So if you want to post multiple pictures, you can go in and edit your original post. Say, like, if you post it when you finish, because some people consider finishing as when you cast off. But then maybe it's a shawl and you want to show it again when it's been blocked. Just go back into your original post and edit that, and you can add those pictures in at that point.
But make sure you do one separate post per finished object.
Yes.
Because that's how we're going to draw for prizes.
Please, no chatter in the finished objects thread because, like I said, we're using random.org or Siri to choose the numbers, and we have to go and delete chatter, so that kind of messes up,
the sequencing.
Yeah, we can't really say choose a number between 2 and then skip 3 and then 4 and then skip 8. Doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I think people watching this probably, it's pretty standard.
Yeah, but so is not chattering in the finished objects thread, and we get that too. So, hope to see you there.
Cool beans. We did not put this in the show notes, but I'm going to pop it in here. We have another knit-along coming up, running November through December. It is the Socks in Space knit-along 2017, not 2018, like stupid head Robin said last time.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh, it's the next year. It's not the last year we did it, so it's 2018. It is, no. It is 2017. It is the Socks in Space knit-along, and we will be co-hosting again with the wonderful Candace of Pin Feathers and Pearls podcast.
Yay!
So basically the same rules as last time are going to apply, except we are not going to accept whips this time, because it's a 2-month knit-along. That's usually enough time to knit a pair of socks.
So it'll run the entire month of November?
Starts November 1st, ends December 31st. So, as usual, stipulations will be you have to have your project be space-themed in some way, space-themed colorway, space-themed pattern, Star Wars yarn, Doctor Who yarn, Firefly yarn, Nebula, Andromeda, Galaxy, space-themed.
Well, the pattern could be...
Yeah, we have a bundle of patterns. I don't think I've set it up to show in our group, but let me double check on that. Last year I created a bundle. I'm going to add some new ones that I found over this past year to it. So if you're stuck on, if you have this yarn that you really want to use but it's not space themed, you can use a space themed pattern. Last year I did the Speckled Space socks. That is a fantastic pattern. I highly recommend. Some people did the Mercury socks. Those count as well. But again, we'll put the bundle in the Ravelry group if you all want to take a look. We're going to split it this year. We're going to have the chatter thread in one podcast group and the finished objects thread in the other. That way it's easier than having 2 finished objects threads and 2 chatter threads and all this kind of stuff. So that is just a little heads up. We'll get the details ironed out for you. We'll post the chatter and finished objects thread once it gets closer to the start date of the count. So just throwing that out there if you want to start planning a project.
Yeah, we just wanted to give you a heads up in case you want to look for some space-related yarn or space-related pattern. That way, you're ready to go whenever November 1st rolls around.
I will be bringing back my Pretty Floral Bonnets Firefly-inspired colorway, and I will be doing a Doctor Who colorway. For those of you who may be interested in Doctor Who, there might be some people around. So I may do some other little space-themed things here and there just because it's really fun. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, But I love other space-themed things. I like Doctor Who. I like,
I failed.
It's just not my thing, which is okay. So that is what's coming up. We have, as usual, our coupon code. We'll just give a shout out real quick to Kath Thorley. She has offered us a 20% off coupon code through March 2018 for any of her patterns. It's good for 20% off, I think I said that. I'm using the code CherryPearls20. So thank you, Kath. And I think we're ready to move into finished objects?
Yes.
Oh, one more thing. I usually put this at the beginning, but it's a shop thing. For those of you who are coming to New Orleans as a visitor, my yarns are now carried in Uptown Needle and Craftwork, goodness. Uptown Needle and Craftwork on Magazine Street, so that's exciting. There's a lot of people who want to know where they can find my yarn whenever they come to the city, so she has a assortment of my yarns in her shop. So that is the end of the administrative stuff, so you want to show your finished object?
All right, so I finished my Crossfire shawl.
Woo.
I was almost finished with it last week, last time we podcast. But it is finished, and I absolutely love it. This has been one of my favorite patterns. It was very easy to do, and I think it really shows off Robin's yarns spectacularly. The yarns are Teeny Button Studio Lush in both 3 a.m. on Bourbon Street and Bear.
I'm checking to see if I have any more in the shop, which I do not. Because I had some this morning, and I know one of them sold. I wasn't sure if it was the last one, so I wanted to make sure if people wanted to get it, they could. But unfortunately, I'm sold out.
But I really love the way it turned out, and it blocked out really nicely. And I will probably make this again whenever I have another yarn that I love in the skein, but don't necessarily know what to do with it because it's really busy.
Yeah.
This just is the perfect way to break that up. And
gorgeous.
I love it.
Amazing.
And this base is really, really soft, and I enjoy.
I like the edging. Wait, this edging?
Yeah, where I did the stripe.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so.
It looks almost like, no, it's not a picot. It looked nice with a picot.
Yeah.
It looks nice the way that you did it, but I think it would be nice with a picot too.
Okay, well, ever since I did the picot binding on that Casa Pinka
oh my goodness, like
and it
400
was like
picots.
a bazillion picots, I'm kind of off of picots.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you said, I think you said the last shawl that I did, the berry patch, would have looked nice with a picot, and I'm like,
I must have picots, like,
yeah,
on my brain.
Well, it's easy to get somebody else to do the picots.
Yeah, I don't love doing picots, but they look really good.
Yeah, they do. They do. Yeah. So anyway, it's done,
Woo!
And I'm happy. Very happy.
I really like it.
I didn't say this is Crossfire by Jennifer Dassow, the Knitting Vortex, and yeah, a lot of people saw this at Into the Wool, and I hope that a lot of people end up making it because it was a lot of fun to knit, and it's something that I was able to knit while I was talking to other people.
It looked good in a speckle too.
Yeah, I can't think of anything it wouldn't look good in. Some of them have used self-striping. I've seen some in gradients. I've seen some in solid speckles. I mean, it's just the type of shawl that would showcase any beautiful yarn.
We're not sponsored, by the way. We just love this.
No, we just love this. But I am sponsored by the yarn person.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. This is my favorite yarn. So.
It's your favorite yarn?
Yes.
Aww. It's my favorite too when I'm a little.
I'm kidding.
Actually, the MCN base I think is my favorite base.
Well, yeah.
It's just like, it's got that squish factor.
Oh, it totally has a squish factor.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I'm happy. It's done.
Keep going because I have no finished
All right.
objects.
Well, I have 2 hats. My friend Tina moved to Oregon, and I wanted to knit her some hats for her and her son. So this is a hat that a lot of people may recognize. This is the Antler hat by Tin Can Knits.
It's a classic.
Excellent pattern, fun to knit. I love the cable. This was knit in Red Heart Soft in the colorway teal. So that's the hat for Tina. And then for Brian, she mentioned something about him wanting a hat with ear flaps, and I couldn't find one that I really, really loved, but this one was interesting to me, so I decided to give it a go. It is called the 1898 hat by Christine Barnes. Yeah, Barnes.
Barnes?
Different spelling. And it's really interesting. You knit the brim, and you knit it flat, and you do short rows to do the little ear parts, right here. See how it dips
Yeah, it's
down?
hard to see because it's dark in the
Yeah,
background.
that's why I put my hand above it, so you can see how it dips down. And then you go and you pick up the stitches around the top.
Yeah, because the garter is sideways.
Yeah. So you go and you pick up the stitches for the rest of the hat, and then you knit from there. And I didn't realize it when I picked out the 2 colors that it was going to look like a football if I striped it.
Yeah.
So what I ended up doing was a slip stitch stripe, so it would look a little bit different and not so football-like. And I was really happy with the way that turned out.
And this is Red Heart.
And this is also Red Heart Soft in chocolate and white. So, yep, that's the hat for Brian. So I will get those in the mail to them next week. As part of the C is for Caring make-along.
I saw you working on them all week, but I had no idea you had so many.
So this is like my new preemie hat, okay? So they don't take long to knit at all. So I've decided to start knitting some knitted knockers. Well, yeah, there's a lot. These are the first ones that I did. Okay, so
I have different sizes.
Yeah, some of them are different sizes. So these are.
You're missing a boob, you know that?
Okay. You don't have to do them in pairs.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because some people only have a unilateral mastectomy. Yeah. So, and I wanted to use all the yarn up, and there wasn't enough to make a pair for that one.
That makes sense.
So, I do have 4 of these. These are all paired up. This is in Karen's Grace. I don't know how well you can see. There you can go. And this colorway is natural. I'm not a huge fan of this yarn. It's very cord-like. But this is a yarn. All of these yarns I'm going to show you are yarns that are okayed by the Knitted Knockers group. They are what they request that you knit in. So I have 4 of these. This one is Cascade. Let's see.
Ultra Pima?
Yes, Cascade Ultra Pima, and the colorway is 3711. And just 2 of those. I knit all of these in a C cup, just because it, depending on how you stuff it, you might be able to go down.
These look a lot smaller though.
Well, I'll explain that in a minute. I'm using a size 5 needle on all these. So this is, I think that was a DK. I think this one's a DK. This goes with these. Well, I'll do this one next. This one is Universal Yarns Cotton Supreme DK, and the colorway in this is Blush. This, I think, of all of the yarns so far, is my favorite. It's very soft. The other ones are not as soft. They apparently soften up once they've been washed, but this one is soft right off the bat. And this last yarn right here is, trying to find it on the thing. Oh, Valley Yarns Southwick, and the colorway is 19, but it's like a chocolate color. This is actually a worsted. So the first ones that I did, which are these, I did the same stitch count that I did for the other ones, which is 28 stitches on 3 needles. And because it's a worsted, they came out bigger. So these may be more of a size D cup, but these are the ones that I did where I just guessed and did 24 stitches. And I'm not sure exactly what cup size this is, but Knitted Knockers has, they stuff them there, or you can send them in stuffed. I'm going to send them in unstuffed.
Pack more from the box.
And then they're able to, they go ahead and fill them, and then they have a grading system to where once it's been filled, they can see the size of it, and then they know what's, what cup size it goes with. So I know this will fit into one of them. So, yeah, this has almost turned like into my new preemie hat.
You know what I realized while you were talking? You have 13 boobs, and it's Friday the 13th.
Oh, that's nice. That's really nice.
It's meant to be. It's the universe.
So, okay. Well, I have more of this yarn, and I have more of these yarns.
We got some of the Cascade in our student goodie bag this year for DFW. So you might, if you want my skein, you can have it.
Okay.
Because I can't even think of what I'm going to use it for. Or I could knit a pair. I was going to knit a hat, but I think I might try a pair of those because I'm getting the itch to work with DPNs.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. They have, it's a really nice pattern. They have it written for a lot of different ways. They've got it knit in the round. There's on DPNs. There's magic loops. So they've got it written up a bunch of different ways. And if you knit them in the past, they have reversed the pattern to where instead of starting at the front of the knocker, you actually start at the back, which is a lot easier because you can cast on more stitches, and then you knit, and then you get to the front, and then you're just done. So I kind of do like the reworked pattern if you have done them in the past, just because, you know, starting out with a couple of stitches is always so fiddly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my knitting for this week.
You're carrying this podcast because I don't have anything.
I mean, it was kind of like with the preemie hat thing. I mean, you can knock out these, you know, in a couple hours. I wasn't gonna say it, but yes, you can, and it goes really fast. And so yeah, so that's the only reason why I'm watching the baseball playoffs, and I'm knitting and having a good time with that. Yeah. So
you and your baseball.
Yeah.
You ready for whips?
Yes.
Okay.
Because actually, I don't have any whips because I cast off the last one of those, so I don't have anything officially back on the needles.
Oh, well, I have 4, so
yeah, you handle this part.
Whip festival up in here.
Oh, good.
So I have actually 2 half objects this week. So does that count as like an honorary finished object? No. I was hoping we could push it.
No, there's no reason to push it. There's no knitting police.
Oh, I want to show this. This is my bag from Sugar Tots, which is one of my favorite bags. But I recently acquired a pin that I've put on here that I wanted to show you guys. It's my big girl panties, because some days you just need an extra pair of big girl panties. So, oh no, where's my mini skein? My mini skein is gone. I have to find it. I bet Pearl took it, actually.
She's over there sleeping.
Yeah, but no, she took it and put it somewhere. She's hiding it from me.
Throwing the baby under the bus.
So these are my vanilla socks knit out of my Sprinkle Spice Latte colorway. And the mini skein, which I do not have, is in my Chicory colorway. It just hit myself in the face.
That was karma after blaming the baby.
Probably so.
So then that beautiful, that chicory?
Yeah, so
it's such a tonal
It works with everything. It's one of my favorites. You can pair it with literally everything. I do a 68 stitch sock I cast on using a figure 8 cast on. Increased to 68, and then I just knit, and I put in a Fish Lips Kiss heel because that is my heel of choice.
And did you say what the main body of the sock was?
Yeah, Sprinkle Spice Latte.
Okay, I didn't know if you said it. Can you see it?
That's another one I'm sold out of. I sold out of it this morning, and I don't have any more, but I'm going to dye some more tonight. So, this is just a vanilla sock. Nothing to write home about. But I do really love vanilla socks. I actually think I'm going to start another vanilla sock once I finish this one because all my other socks are patterned. So, size US 1 Chiaogus, the lace ones, red lace, Sucra iced coffee, Progress Keeper. But other than that, nothing really exciting to report, just a vanilla sock. Love this yarn. I like the micro stripes with the little speckles, and it's washed out, but y'all get the idea. So that is my first whip. And I actually have, I was going to say I have 3 sock whips, but I just have 2. It is Socktober, which I don't know, I'm sure y'all know about, but I didn't know about it. I couldn't figure out if it was just like an informal thing or if it was like a real knit-along.
I have no idea.
But it is a real knit-along. It's hosted by the Carolina Fiber Girls. And I'm going to participate because I like knitting socks, and I'm going to be knitting socks anyway. So, all that to say, I pulled this one out of deep storage.
That was very deep.
Yes, because the designer is one of the sponsors for this year's Socktober.
Just trying to get it untangled.
The pattern is Lady of Lallybrock by CC Allman. And the yarn, did you find the base? Because I couldn't find it. Oh, Savvy Skein's Sensible Sock. I knew it was one of her sock bases, but I didn't know which one.
Mm-hmm.
Sensible Sock in Forest Green. And it is this very, very heavily cabled sock. I'm doing them obviously 2 at a time. And I had originally cast this on in last February 2016, I think. Right before season 2 of Outlander came on. Because I wanted to knit it while I was watching the show, which is a joke. Because look at those cables. I cannot knit that while watching a show.
No.
Yeah. So,
not if you want to keep having your cables go right.
Yeah. So, I think this is where I was whenever I picked it up. So I've knit that much plus heels. So, the top of the sock, if you're familiar with the pattern, has like a folded over cuff with some seed stitch on it to look like a kilt hose.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cute, but I haven't decided if I'm going to do that or not. Because I think it's a little bit extra knitting, plus it's, I was going to say plus it's seed stitch, but seed stitch is the same as ribbing, just staggered, so maybe it's not that much more work than ribbing. So I haven't decided if I'm going to do that bit yet, but they're still very cute. The Celtic cables are very pretty, very complicated.
I love cables.
I do too, but I'm doing it without a cable needle because I live on the edge.
I'd like to be in a safety seat belt, suspenders, and a regular belt.
And your cable needle.
And my cable needle.
But they're high sharps, and so I keep stabbing myself.
Ooh, those are stabby.
But I'm cabling without a needle, so they're very useful for that. So I can't work on them for long stretches of time. I kind of do like 3 or 4 rows, and then I work on something else. So that's kind of how I'm having to go with these. Plus, they're 2 at a time. I don't know if I could have actually finished them doing them 1 at a time because they're so tedious.
I think that what you're doing is the right way to do them.
And since the cables are pulling in slightly, I'm doing some increases, so this way I'll know the increases are going to stay the same on the
I think
socks.
that's a good idea. Like anytime you do a modification, if you're doing them 2 at a time, your mods are going to be done the same on both.
As long as I remember. I get it halfway across one sock and then I forget what I did. That happens to me sometimes.
Been there.
But yeah, this is in my bag from Whimsy Stitches. Hi, Rick.
Cute bag.
Adorable. Love this bag. This was a fun kit to do. I'm not sure if he has any left, but he might if you want to go check out his shop. Whimsy Stitches on Etsy. Whimsy Stitches Designs. So, very cute. I have a little Fox Progress Keeper I've been meaning to put on here as a zipper pull, but I keep forgetting. So let's move on to the next whip, because, oh, look what's in there. My 3DS, my Animal Crossing 3DS was in there. I was wondering why it was so heavy.
Yeah, because that's what we do when we're knitting.
Well, I was alternating between the two, because I don't know if y'all play Animal Crossing, but the Halloween event is coming up, and girlfriend needs to buy those masks so she can do the Halloween event. So
sure, what she says.
Yeah, anyway. This is my meandering shawl. Oh, and the bag is from Tiffany at Southern Sparrow Handmade, who has opened her shop. If you are interested in her Marauders matte bags, those are amazing. And she has Chocolate Frogs bags. We've talked about her before, but she's awesome. So this is my meandering shawl. Did you hold that side? And it is on a very small cable, very small needle, so it's hard to see the progress I've made, but ooh, that's not very much progress. Oops, I did that much. So it's a little bit, yeah.
Well, it's a lot of stitches on here.
Yeah.
I'd rather turn it on the other side, though.
Yeah, we like this side better.
Because you can really appreciate how cool it looks. I mean, when it's blocked out, you'll be able to see the other side a lot better because you can see when it's opened up.
Yeah.
But this way you can see it now and how really cool the pattern, the center line moves and the beautiful brioche. Yeah. I still haven't worked up the nerve to try brioche yet.
It's not hard. It's really not.
I know. It took me a long time before I tried cables, and I'm like, oh my God, really? I was worried about that.
Yeah. This is the Meandering Shawl pattern by Stephen West, and the yarns are Teeny Button Studio. The brown is Chicory. Again, goes with everything.
Hey, Chicory.
And the golden, yellowy, browny color is Bourbon and Boudin. And not a whole lot to say about this. I'm just trucking on. With brioche, you knit every row twice. So that's the reason why I don't have a whole lot of progress. But I'm actually getting close to the edging. I think actually I'm at the edging. I just have 2 more rows and then I start putting in the markers. So it must block out brioche is
super stretchy.
Yeah, so it probably blocks out a lot bigger, but it looks a little small to me.
Well, if you move these onto bigger needles, I think that you'd have a better feeling for what the true size is.
They're fixed, so I may have to borrow a pair from you.
Yeah, you may need to use some interchangeables.
Yeah. I probably have the tips. I probably just need to borrow a cord.
Yeah, I've got some really long cords.
So that is my meandering shawl. And then my last work in progress is my Zoe hat, which I did find a pom-pom for. Let's show that pom-pom. I got this at Michael's, and it was on a keychain, and they were having a 60% off. I got this for $2, which you can't beat buying it online. Shipping is going to be more than that. And I just pulled the key ring off. I pried it apart, and it has a little bitty tiny little tab in there so I can just sew it through. So perfect. It looks nice and fluffy, and it's fake, which I wanted. So that is going to go on the top of this hat.
Oh, man.
Caught it. You did it.
Good.
So this is the Zoe hat by Alexandra Davidoff. And there's the front. Not that it matters, it's a hat. It really doesn't have a front. But, you know, whatever. So I believe I was around here last time I showed y'all. I just started the patterning. So I put a good chunk into this. And
Again, more cables.
More cables. Yeah, I really like cables.
I do too.
I'm feeling it, especially those little one-stitch cables, because that's like nothing. So, very cute. This is Barrett Wool Company and Home. Is that their yarn?
Yeah.
Home in their worsted base, worsted weight. And the colorway is Snowy Pine.
It's a really, really pale green.
Yeah,
almost a mint color.
It's close-ish. It's a little bit greener than that. But.
Yeah.
So my pom-pom is going to go on the top. Very cute. I'm going to bring it with me when we go to New York, because I have a feeling that I'm going to be freezing because...
You get cold easily.
Well, I get cold easily, and we're not used to the cold down here. So
no,
we have no cold tolerance whatsoever. It gets in the 70s, and I mean, at least I'm like...
Nah, there's no we. That's a you. It gets in the 70s, and I'm in a happy dance.
Yeah. Yeah, but we think it's cold whenever it's in the 50s. Apparently, people don't think that up north. It's not like cold.
Well, yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's a relative thing.
Yeah.
It's what your perspective is.
Love this bag from the Scrappy Thread. I love whenever people show project bags, so I always like try to remember.
I don't really keep my things in a project bag.
Yeah, well, you kind of stay in one place. I kind of travel around a little bit.
Well,
so.
and I usually don't have a lot of projects on the needle.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if I had a lot of projects on the needle, I am using a project bag for the knitted knockers. It's actually one you made for me, and it's just to keep all the yarns, like, you know, I made 2 out of this, and I made some out of this, so it's to keep the extra skeins in, just so that Miss P doesn't go and bat them around the room.
Pearl would never do that.
But normally I don't use a lot of project bags unless I'm going out knitting, because I usually just knit in one place.
Which we are tomorrow, because we have knit group tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which I'm super excited about.
So knitting in one place, I'm not going to put it in a project bag just every time I set it down.
That makes sense.
So that is it.
Yeah. We have some stash to show. Yep. The things that we're going to show you this week were mostly acquired on our recent trip to Tennessee.
Either on the way there
or on the way back.
Or some of them while we were there.
Yeah. So do you want to go in order that we visited the stores?
Sure.
Okay. So on our way...
Pull mine out then.
On our way up to Tennessee, we went through Birmingham, and we stopped at a store called The Taming of the U.
But that was not in Birmingham.
Oh, it was in
Gadsden.
Gadsden. I always forget. So we stopped in, and we made some purchases. So what did you get?
I bought one of my bucket yarns. Bucket list yarns. It's 3 Irish girls. And this is Adorn Luxe, and the colorway is Raspberry Beret.
Is that their MCN?
Yes.
Ooh, I think I knit a shawl out of that once.
And I just really love the color, and it's nice and squishy, and yeah, I didn't need it.
It's got the squish factor.
But it was on my list, and it was in a color I love.
It's gorgeous. That's your color.
Yeah.
That one and that teal color.
Yep, those are my 2 favorites.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah, I noticed... I have a trend in my colors, too.
Yes, you do.
So I got this at the Taming of the U, and I already tore off the sticker not very well, but it is Miss Crosby. Satchel is the base, right? Yeah, 100% superwash merino, and it is a single. Everything I have in my hand, except for one thing, is a single. So that's what I purchased.
But singles are your thing.
I love singles, yeah. The colorway is Spangled Cotinga. I have no idea what that is a reference to or what it means, but it is very pretty. And I think this is the yarn I'm going to use for Candace of Pin Feathers and Pearls, her mint along. That's mint, right? It's kind of aqua mint, but there's some mint in it.
There's some mint in it, absolutely.
Yeah. It's coming up a lot more blue on camera. But I might double check with her that counts. But it's minty to me, so we'll see. But it was a very cute store. They had tea as well.
Yeah, it was a tea shop / yarn store, and very nice store, and lovely ladies were in there knitting, and
they had marble top tables. It was very, very fancy.
Really cute store, and it's like in downtown, so there was a lot of places to eat. It was a really cute downtown area, so it was a nice shop.
Yeah. So we went up to Into the Wool, and Thursday before everybody got there, we decided to take a trip to the local store that they have there in Crossville, Tennessee. So that is the Yarn Patch.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's the Yarn Patch because they had a little cabbage with a yarn ball as their logo.
Yep, that's it.
So, what did you get?
I bought some Cascade Heritage sock. Let's see, there we go. And it's in this beautiful navy color. It's a color I did not have in my stash. Just a really nice neutral. So, yeah, when I saw it, I'm like, ooh, I don't have this color. And everybody always needs a good neutral. So
it could go with anything up here, really.
Yep.
Yeah, I love navy. I'll put navy with everything.
So
I bought a navy dress the other day to wear to a wedding. Navy's amazing. So I bought this Malabrigo.
And I did not know they were doing speckles.
I didn't either. They're like the gateway drug. Like Malabrigo is like, that's the first step you take going into like hand-dyed, like indie dyers. That's what I call them. But this is their Machida base. It's 100% superwash merino, and it is a single as well. And the colorway is called Carnival, which is very fitting, don't you think?
Absolutely.
So I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I bought it.
That would be cool in a crossfire.
Yeah, well, with the navy, definitely. Yeah. So that is what I got at the Yarn Patch. And they were offering a they were offering a discount to Into the Wool vendors, attendees.
Yes.
So thank you for that. I don't know if they're watching this, but that was really appreciated. All 3 of the yarn stores we visited in Tennessee offered discounts, so that was really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So after the retreat, we went into Nashville to spend the night, and we visited Bliss Yarns. So what did you get at Bliss Yarns?
I didn't get anything.
Oh, you didn't? You did. You got your sock ruller.
Oh, I didn't bring that.
I bought her a sock ruller.
I forgot that. Yeah, just your basic sock ruller. Sorry,
but it's like shaped. I liked how it was like you could stick it in the toe.
Yeah, it's rounded. So and you probably have seen them before. It's just the sock ruller. It's rounded on one end, white with numbers.
I got a skein of Miss Babs because they had a lot of Miss Babs, and apparently they do a Miss Babs trunk show.
Yeah.
So that may be something to put me with like a road trip and go see the Miss Babs trunk show.
Yeah.
So this is their Kunlun base. It's 3-ply DK, 70% merino, 15% cashmere, and 15% silk. And it says it's a DK, but I'm not convinced. It's very sport weighty to me. I don't know. What do y'all think?
I mean, you can always get you one of those, figure out what the reps per inch is.
Well, it says it's 100 grams and 280 yards, so that's more on the thinner side of DK, because my DK is 115 grams and 250 yards, so that's a little bit on the thinner side.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful.
And you will find something gorgeous to put that in.
It's in the roasted pumpkin colorway, and I'm thinking that I might cast that on after I cast on my Zoe hat. I cannot remember who it is, and I'm so sorry, but somebody was doing Lord of the Rings patterns, the Brandywine. She had a mittens, a cowl, and a hat pattern, and she was offering them for free for a limited time. So that's what I'm thinking for this yarn. I think it's for a fingering weight, but I might adjust it slightly.
Do you redo the math?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe that's what I'll do, but we'll see. I really love that like rich.
It's all those colors of orange in there.
Yeah, it's very, very November to me.
Mm-hmm.
So
definitely folly.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this one. It's so soft. Oh my goodness! If you're going to Rhinebeck and she has a space, go feel it because it's ridiculously soft. So that is what we got, or what I got at Bliss Yarns. And the next morning we went to check out House of Yarn, which is in Nashville, Tennessee.
And they also now carry your yarn.
Yes, they are now a retailer for Teeny Witten Studio, so that's exciting. But we made some purchases there because they had some beautiful things as well.
They do. They have some really, really lovely yarn.
Go first.
Okay. I picked it up. I picked up some stranded darts.
I would have bought this one if I had gotten to it first.
Well, see, I was killing time while Robin was talking to the owner.
Yeah.
And so this is Stranded Dye Works Oasis in her colorway Jubilant. And I really, really like it.
We love Amy. I love Amy
I'm
so
not
much.
sure what I'm going to do with it, but I really love
talented.
the colors. The second skein that I got is, let's see if I can get it in there, Old Rusted Chair. And this is in her sock weight, 80/20, and the colorway is Goblet Green.
I was looking at it over in there in the bag, and I thought it said Gobbler Green.
Yeah, I don't know about Goblet Green, but Goblet Green. And then the last one is one that I've seen lots of times, but have never actually purchased, and it is one of Robin's gateway. It is Malabrigo sock, and the colorway is Ravelry Red.
I have a sweater in that colorway that I need to frog because it is beautiful and doesn't deserve to be stuffed in a closet.
Yeah.
You gonna do mitts?
I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. It's just, I don't know. I couldn't pass it up.
It's very pretty.
I love red.
Yeah.
So that was the 3 yarn purchases I made there. I bought a couple of other things.
Did you get the same pin that I did? Oh, I don't know where it went.
I don't know what pin you're talking about.
This pin. This pin.
No, I didn't buy any enamel pins. I bought some. They had some Gessler design pins.
Oh,
and I bought some little buttons.
Yeah.
And then I also bought you this bag, and I bought a gleaner, and that may have been it. But they were offering a really nice discount. So, yeah, I kind of jumped on
they
that.
had really nice notions. They had tuft woolens.
Yeah.
So I'm addicted to these. This is my 4th one of these, I think. I have Sugar Skull, and I have 2 of the Texas Sunshine, and I have Pink Peppermint. But they works fantastic. And I like that because the back of my hands get dry on the side. And so, like, my palms, like, I don't like feeling greasy, especially whenever I'm going to be knitting. So I like you can just, like, apply it without having to touch it.
Yeah, because it's hard to put on regular lotion without getting your palms.
Yeah.
Because unless you're doing this.
Yeah.
Which doesn't work that well.
Mm. So I got that, and then I got.
Good.
I know it does, doesn't it? I got this enamel pin from Firefly Notes. Is that what it's called? That's what the website is. Just very cute yarn and needles.
Yep.
And then Mom was saying she got me this fox pouch from Danica. Yeah, Danica Studio. Because y'all know I have a thing for foxes.
Robin likes a fox.
I did. I want to show this too because I actually got this at a local place. I got this at oh goodness, Chateau So and So on Magazine Street the other day. I just wanted to show this. It is a unicorn tape measure. So I don't know if they sell them online, but I love it, and it's living in my unicorn bag. So it's my fox unicorn bag.
So it's living in your fox bag.
Yeah, my foxicorn bag.
Oh, fox.
The fox isn't a unicorn, although maybe he should be.
Oh.
So I got some yarn at House of Yarn as well. I got Stranded Dye Works Solo, again a single, and this is on her solo base, and the colorway is Hazardous. So mostly kind of this fluorescent-y yellow with some orange and green and some black speckles. And then I bought this to go with it. This is Dream in Color Jilly. It's actually not as soft as I thought it would be. It's not as soft as the Stranded for sure. But it's called Get Down Greeny.
And it's their single space.
Yeah, Jilly's their single space. So I figured these 2 together, and then I'll probably do, I don't have it with me, but I'll probably do Dementor's Kiss, my black charcoal tonal colorway with that.
Ooh.
I'm thinking Kristen of Yarngasm is about to release her Oracle shawl as a crescent shape instead of a...
I think she already had.
No, it's November 1st.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the full one was already released.
Yeah, that I knew.
Yeah, the half one she's shown, but she hasn't released it yet. So I think maybe that's what I'll do with these 3.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, maybe I'll use Kristen's yarn. I haven't decided. But that is what I got at House of Yarn. So, yeah, that was pretty much it. I'll be on our trip.
Well, this was ordered on the trip.
Yeah, I got an email from Knitpicks, and they're like, "Oh, 30% off Felici." So I'm sitting out there in the middle of the cabin. I'm like, "We have to order Felici."
I ordered some for sure.
Yeah,
I've got 2 different colorways. One is Spring Blooms, and the other one is Candy Shop.
That's a really cute one.
No idea what I'm going to do with these, but I thought they would be fun. So I got 2 skeins of each, and they're going to go on in my cubby with all my
shelf.
striped yarn.
I have behind us. I have about 12 colorways of Felici, because every time they go on sale, I'm like, I have to buy all the Felici. And then they have a really good sale for Black Friday.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'll probably get more then.
You know that Felici that they were discontinuing?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, the last thing that I received is I just want to give a shout out to a wonderful viewer. She messaged me, Chen, sent me a message, said she had a whole bunch of baby yarn, and she wanted to send it to somebody who would be using it. So she sent me a whole bunch of yarn, and I can start working on preemie hats in the new year, because I've got plenty of yarn to do it. So thank you, Jen. I really appreciate you thinking of me.
That was so sweet.
Yeah, she didn't have a use for it anymore, and she knew that I would be thrilled to get it, which I am.
Yeah, well, it's not cheap to ship that either.
No,
so
it was
very appreciated.
It was very, very nice of her.
So I did a swap a while ago, but I haven't shown it yet. This is a swap I did with Truffle Shuffler. I was looking up her name, so I make sure I got it right. She had some yarn she was destashing, but she wanted to trade. So I got another single, because that's
what you do.
The trend right now for me, apparently. Again, another stranded dye works on her solo base, and this colorway is Wallflower, and it would actually go super well with this one.
Ooh, look at that.
Maybe for brioche. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be a 3-color thing with the black, so that one is already reserved. And she was kind enough to send me 2 little progress keepers. Or wait, one's a progress keeper and one's a stitch marker. And Jensen is actually a clay artist.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she is she's famous. I'm going to show if my phone will pick it up. She does these little rainbow unicorns, and they're the cutest thing. These are her Halloween ones.
Oh, look how cute.
Yeah, let me see if they'll load. If you can, no, wait. They're really cute, I promise. There we go.
Those are cute.
Yeah, so she also has platypuses and all kind of different things. So that was really nice for her to include little extras for me. So thank you, Jensen. So that is what we've got this week, right? That's about it?
Well, yeah, not really this week. But this is what we got Tennessee-ish.
Around that time.
Right when we came back.
Yeah. So, do we have anything for Lanyap?
Nope.
A little something extra?
Nope, no Lanyap
Nothing
today.
extra this week. So at this point, I guess we'll talk about
shop update.
Shop update. I was going to say throw me something, mister. There's something wrong with my brain today. I'll talk about shop update, so if that interests you, then feel free to stick around. Pardon my reach for a second. I had a shop update 2 hours ago. We're recording on Friday instead of Thursday this week. Or we don't really say. We try to record Friday, Thursday, Friday-ish. Just so happened that this time we were recording on a Friday. And I'm double checking to make sure I don't show you anything that's out of stock. So, I have a new colorway this week. Yeah, we're good. Okay. I have a new colorway this week. This is a Christmas colorway. I did release a couple of my Christmas colorways for this update. This one is called Christmas is Canceled. And it is a mint with emerald green and ruby red and black speckles. And I have this on soft sock and on tough sock, I'm pretty sure. I have Gingerbread Girl, which I released last year as part of my Christmas Sweets mini skein set. So this is a pink toned brown. It's coming up a lot more grayish tone, but it is a pink, almost a pink brown. It's got some of that green and some sapphire and a little bit of those pink speckles. I don't know if you can see them, but they're in there. And I thought these two would go really nicely together.
Oh, that would be pretty.
I'm thinking heels and toes, maybe, with the brown. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then my third Christmas colorway was a very popular colorway I released last year. I had people ask me when it was coming back, so it is back. This is called Smashed Ornaments. And it is a heavily speckled colorway with different shades of green and red on an off-white base. So I have this one on Lush Sock and on Tough Sock. I think the Gingerbread Girl I only have on soft this week. So I will have more, or I do have, at this point it is already up in the shop. I have more Acromantula Venom, which is a Harry Potter colorway That was part of the Potions class kit that I did with Sunshine and Bubblegum a couple of weeks ago. I have more Spectra Specs. Some of these are labeled, some of these aren't yet because I was lazy this week. Usually I try to label them as they come off the drying rack, but I don't always, you know, get the initiative to do it. But this is Spectra Specs, an oldie but a goodie. I have Sally's Pralines, which is a heavily speckled navy and gold and red and a little bit of brown, but the brown is sometimes hard to read because it kind of gets lost a little bit. I have Frolicking Felines, which is my colorway based on Dolores Umbridge, or inspired by Dolores Umbridge from the Harry Potter series.
And her plates.
And her decorative kitten plates, which I totally want. You think we could find some kitten plates?
I'm sure we could. Pearl would know.
Yeah, Pearl would know. So that is yellow and pale pink and pale purple with black and red and green speckles. And then I have more Smoke, which is just a solid gray tonal, just to kind of go with everything.
A nice neutral.
Yeah, there's some of them have micro speckles, which I love. And then I will have more Bourbon and Boudin, which I showed in my meandering shawl. So this is what it looks like in the skein. So it's got some of that nice orange, and then it's got some purpley brown and blue. And I love those micro speckles. I feel like a lot of my colors this week have those really tiny pinprick speckles that I love so much. Sometimes they don't always turn out on certain bases. Like the BFL base, you really can't get them as well because it just soaks up the dye. But the Superwash Merino really takes the speckles really well. So that is what is currently...
Soft sock?
Yeah, that's soft sock. That is what is currently in the shop. We'll link in the down bar if that interests you. And I think that's all we have to say this week. Is that right?
I think so.
So thank you for watching up till this point. Thank you to all those people who come back and watch us every time.
Yes.
And I think we'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Yeah.
I think that's the plan.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.